Welcome back to Lauren's Crazy Pet Show. Look at this beautiful boy. This is Stitch. Now, have you ever wondered what your animal is thinking? Well, actually, Stitch's mom knows exactly what he's thinking because, yeah, she is an animal communicator.
I am an intuitive who specializes in animals. It's the same as an intuitive who works with people, except I pretty much work exclusively with animals. I do occasionally work with humans, but I work more so with animals.
So you would meet an animal. I was hoping to bring a Noki today, but I didn't because I'm scared to hear what you'd say.
We will meet with her. We will do this.
And then what happens?
I will sometimes get pictures, words, phrases. I will hear sounds. Sometimes I will taste things. Through this, they will let me know what they like and what they don't like, how they're feeling in their bodies. I happen to be an animal intuitive who feels in my own body what they're feeling. Sometimes their mom or dad or caregiver will come to me with a specific reason. You know, sometimes people just want to know, is my horse, my dog, my cat, are they living their best life? Or there's been a life change, you know, there's been a death, there's been a divorce, they've moved, there's a new baby. Or their animal is not well. They know that there's something wrong, but yet maybe conventional veterinary tests haven't been able to pinpoint the issue. Or they have an animal who's crossed over already and they'd like to reconnect with that animal. They'd like me to do some mediumship with that animal. Or they have an animal that has a behavior issue. Anxious, has started acting oddly, out of character. All of these are reasons when someone might contact me. They have an animal who's gone missing, an animal who's lost, and they want me to help them find their animal. Of late, I seem to be working with a lot of lost animals.
It's really like another dimension. You know, sometimes you're just at your wit's end, especially when maybe your animal is not feeling well, and you're just really reaching out for some help. And that's what happened with your client, Molly.
I first met Molly because her mom sent me her picture and said, you know, what can you tell me about her?
We had a 19-year-old cat who had taken to medicine that it did not affect her well at all, and it paralyzed her legs. And she started knuckling, where she would walk on the back side of her legs versus on her pads, and she couldn't hold herself up. She was wearing a diaper because she couldn't go to the bathroom without me holding up her tail because she could not feel her legs. And our vet said to put her in a wheelchair. Because I had gone through the class that Mary had presented, I figured, why not call? It can't do any harm. So Mary came to the house, and after doing energy work with her and cleansing her chakras and using the pendulum and the pendant and cleaning her out, her body temperature, first of all, dropped completely. And both my husband and I felt her, and she just felt so much cooler. Her eyes changed with the dilation, and she was seeing better. And then within 2 days, she was up and walking around the house. She walked downstairs to get outside. She walked down the stairs by the pool, and then she would walk the perimeter of the yard. And all it took was a few hours of Mary cleansing on her, and sure enough, she had the last month of her life with mobility.
Molly was able to leave on her own terms. Molly was dignified. She was dignified to the end, and when she crossed on her own terms.
Let's talk about another story that comes to mind.
There was a dog that I worked with who was baffling to his parents. He came in with a lot of weight loss. He'd gone from 60 pounds to 45 pounds. They had taken him to the vet. The vet said he wasn't digesting his food properly. They'd put him on a prescription diet plan, and he still didn't begin to gain weight back. And I don't have any medical training. I heard two words though. One was colon, the other was ulcerative colitis. And I said, I really think you should take him back to his vet and have a recheck done. And so about a month or so later, they let me know that he was doing much better because the vet did an ultrasound. He was diagnosed with IBS and ulcerative colitis. And I don't even know what they are.
Wow, but you could feel that.
I heard it.
Wow. And here you have your beautiful Stitch, who's absolutely gorgeous, who actually had a couple of medical problems himself, and you actually went and seeked out one of the people we've interviewed, Pat,
yes.
Who helped Tonka with the brace.
And Pat has helped Stitch. Stitch will be out of his cast in a few weeks, and he will graduate to the custom braces that Pat made him.
I love that. It's kind of, it all goes around and
It
around.
does. It's a small, small world.
Such a small world. So Mary, now you're working with horses too.
I do. I work with literally lions, tigers, and bears. Ollie is one of those animals whose behavior changed. He started to kick out and just acted unlike himself. And so I got a call from Shoreline Equestrian saying they were concerned about his behavior because he was otherwise docile and sweet. And as I was walking down the aisle toward his stall, I got a feeling of pain in my jaw. And the closer I got to him, the more the pain radiated. I said to them, is there something going on with his mouth? Because I'm feeling this in my mouth very, very clearly. And they said, oh, I bet it's the bit. About a month or so ago, we changed out his bit. And that's when this behavior started. And as it turned out, they did get the dentist in. He needed his teeth trimmed, and it was the bit. Once they changed out the bit, he was fine. The other thing that stood out to me about Ollie was a thoroughbred racehorse, and his name was Over Limit. And he showed me red and white. He kept showing me something that was about him that was red and white. I kept getting those two colors around him, and I said to them, does he have a favorite blanket or something that he likes that's red and white? They were saying, no, there's nothing red and white around here. So they did a little research and found out when he was Over Limit, his racing colors were red and white. And they sent me the video.
So you think you were born with this ability?
We all have it. I took workshops in animal communication and energy work, and it's helped me harness this talent. I teach workshops and I teach people on an individual level. I've launched the Zenzu Symposium, which is sort of a mentorship one-on-one with people who really want to do this. I do group workshops and small group workshops, both in person and via Zoom. Best way is to find me on my website, which is zenzuac.com. My phone number is on there. My email is on there. I'm here at the Red Barn in Durham, Connecticut. I have regular office hours here. We have a lot of other practitioners. The Red Barn is a holistic health and wellness center. There are a lot of other modalities that are available to people here. We have a salt cave, we have art therapy, we have aromatherapy. Please visit our website. I have my office here, as do a lot of other people.